HOA Karen called police as I came home early. Then the cop found her living there rent-free for 3 weeks. When I pulled into my neighborhood after a work trip that was supposed to last another 2 weeks, the last thing I expected to see was flashing red and blue lights bouncing off my garage door, 2 police cars, an HOA board member, and an angry woman I'd never seen before standing in my driveway with her arms crossed like she owned the place. I stepped out of my truck, suitcase still in hand. Before I could speak, she pointed at me and shouted, "That's him. That's the trespasser I told you about." I blinked. Trespasser? On my own property. The officer walked up to me cautiously. "Sir, this woman claims you attempted to break into this home." I almost laughed, thinking this had to be a prank. But Karen, short blonde bob haircut, neon workout shirt, and the most entitled stance I've ever seen, looked dead serious. "This is my responsibility now," she said. "The owner left for weeks. The HOA gave me access to keep everything safe."
Ist hier?
"I am the owner." Her smirk didn't even flinch. "No, you're not. The HOA president said you abandoned the property. I've been maintaining it." The HOA board member beside her nodded, clearly nervous. The officer frowned and said, "Sir, do you have ID proving you live here?" I handed him my license, keys, and even pulled up my smart home app showing the house registered in my name. The officer's expression shifted immediately. But before he could say anything, Karen snapped, "ID can be faked. He's lying. I've been living here for 3 weeks keeping his place secure. Check inside if you don't believe me." The cop shook his head. "Ma'am, you've been living here?" Karen proudly shrugged. "I was doing the HOA a favor. The house shouldn't sit empty. I moved in temporarily." My jaw dropped. "You what?" The officer walked toward the front door. My stomach tightened. I hadn't been gone long, but the ID. My skin crawl. I followed the officer in. The moment the door opened, my heart sank. There were shoes by the doorway, dishes in the sink, an air mattress in the living room, food I never bought in the fridge. And worst of all, her dog. Her giant golden retriever was sprawled out on my couch, shedding everywhere, surrounded by torn pillows. The officer turned slowly to Karen. "Ma'am, you've been occupying this residence without the owner's permission?" Karen scoffed. "I don't need permission. I'm HOA security. The board said homeowners can't leave property unattended for more than 10 days. The board member's face went white. I never said she could move in," he stammered. "I just asked her to check the mail." Karen suddenly didn't look so confident. The officer radioed something in quietly, then said, "Ma'am, you need to step outside." Karen panicked. "No, you don't understand. This place was practically abandoned. I cleaned it. I improved it. I saved it." I pointed at the ripped couch. "You saved it." She glared at me like I had wronged her. "This house deserves better. You weren't taking care of it." The second officer stepped beside her. "Ma'am, turn around." She screamed as they cuffed her. "For what?" "I was helping. I was doing my duty." The officer replied calmly. "For breaking and entering, illegal occupancy, theft of utilities, and filing a false police report." Her knees nearly buckled. They escorted her to the patrol car, still shouting about the HOA, the rules, and how she had every right to live in my home. As they drove off, the HOA board member approached, shaking. I had no idea she was living here. We'll handle the damages." I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, trust me," I said. "You will." The next week, I met with my lawyer. The HOA tried to deny responsibility until we showed the officer's body cam footage. I sued Karen and the HOA. Karen was ordered to pay restitution. The HOA lost the entire case and had to cover all damages, legal fees, and a hefty penalty for violating homeowner rights. The board president resigned. They rewrote the bylaws. And Karen? She was banned from ever entering the community again. Now, every time I pull into my driveway, I can't help but remember the day I came home early, only to find an HOA Karen had moved into my house and called the cops on me. But in the end, the only one evicted was her.